Hi. Welcome to another Miracle Monday. I'm Melanie, and every week my mom and I come together to have real conversations about life. These are the conversations that we have privately all the time, and we absolutely love them. We feel so blessed to be able to talk about the things that really matter, and we thought it would be fun to share them with you. Our hope is that through these conversations, you feel inspired in some way, whatever way you need in this moment. So let's dive into today's conversation, Mom.
Alrighty.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I just, as I did mention,
We did happen to, like we always do. I mean, we talk every day anyway. So while I was walking, we had a really brief conversation and
but didn't go into it so that we could
no,
save ourselves for this.
yeah, exactly.
So one of the things that for some reason I ended up, before I even got out of bed, started thinking about was the fact that so a client mentioned this, and that's what prompted it. So that healing the relationship between them and another person, they needed to heal that relationship between the two of them. What came to me was that it has nothing to do with the other person. It's about healing ourselves. So in other words, that person just happens to be the thing in our environment that allows us to see what needs to be healed in ourselves. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but as we talk, maybe
Yeah,
it'll make more sense, but it's
yeah.
not. Okay, so yeah, I invite you to,
So go talk.
yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, a couple of things like popped into my mind, and obviously because I know the scenario, the specific scenario that you're talking about. Um, so originally when you said it has nothing to do with the other person, my thought was like for people who are listening, well, it it kind of does because the person is doing something that hurts us or makes us uncomfortable or whatever.
Angry or any
That's
emotion.
right. That's right. And so when you're saying it doesn't have to do with the other person, you're not saying like that piece of it. So that piece of it is yes, it's like the NLP, like the NLP model of communication in the head. There's an event that happens outside of you. So the event that's happening outside of you is the person does something that you don't that doesn't feel good in some way, right? But what you're saying is, okay, so that thing happened. You're not denying that that thing happened, that that person did that, that none of that.
Or that it was okay.
That's right. So
Yeah.
this is where sort of my brain was going as you were sharing that because I think it's an important piece is so that event created a response inside of us, and that response inside of us is the part that needs healing, not because we can't control what other people do, say, think, like all of those things. So I'm going to babble for a second because and then
Good.
we can circle back to talking about all of it. I think it's important that you said it doesn't mean that it's okay. It doesn't mean that we continue the relationship the way it is. It doesn't mean that we stay in that person's presence. It doesn't mean any of those things. When we're
Mhm.
talking about healing ourselves, we're talking about the like, and it's funny, I just had a conversation with a friend yesterday about similar-ish.
Mhm.
Like, if we have the deep desire to feel happy and at peace, and that's a big thing. Like, if or, do you have the deep desire? So, if you have the deep desire to feel happy and at peace, then at the end of the day, it's up to me to do what I need to do in order to feel happy and at peace. And therefore, the healing that needs to happen, regardless of what happened outside, is healing within me because that person's going to continue being that person, doing and saying the same things. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's my
Good.
ramble from what you said.
Well, yeah, and that is exactly it. And also, as you were speaking, it made me think of something that we probably have talked about already, because you and I talk about it all the time, is our identity, who we are at the core. So again, is my response to that other person representative of who I say I am, who I want to be? And if it's not, then what do I need to do? And I'm going to say what do I need to do, but I think it's what do I want to do? Because if I don't want to do it, then it doesn't really matter. I'm going to come up with all the excuses and the reasons and go back to the blaming. And what kind of came to me with all of this as well is cause effect. Like there's so many elements that come into this that we talk about again in so many different contexts. I feel like there's a few truths and we
That's what
just
I was going to say.
recycle them.
And it doesn't matter really what the conversation is and whether it's business or personal or relationships or whatever. It's like there's a few golden nuggets, a few like main components that it doesn't matter what the problem is, we always have the same answer, you know?
Exactly. I
Yeah.
know this
Yeah.
might get boring for people.
I know, but we love it. And really, nobody has to watch. I
No,
mean, these
that's
are the
true.
conversations that we have. It's like it can be so simple, yet not necessarily easy, right? What we share isn't rocket science. It's not like, it's, I don't know, it, but it's so impactful.
Yeah, if you do it. So that's the other thing. I mean, that for whatever reason, has really been on my mind lately, and it's probably always on my mind, is this thing about, knowing something, the difference between knowing it intellectually, being able to even tell other people and repeat it, but are we living it? That's
Yeah.
the difference. And I think there's a lot of you know, people that are really intelligent and really get it intellectually. But when it comes down to the interaction with other people, that's really where it counts. And
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's really why I love what you and I do, helping people. And even in the last little while, I probably shared this. I feel this responsibility to start doing practitioner training again because I just think people are really struggling. And
Well,
yeah,
I think there's when I think back to the conversation yesterday and I think back to our very brief conversation this morning and like what we're talking about here, um, I think that we have a different belief system about life.
yeah, I
And
suppose.
I do like some of my like really close friends or even like on my walk yesterday with a friend or whatever, a lot of people in my world, a lot of people in the world, and therefore a lot of people in my world, um, have this belief that you like that hanging out in your feelings is good.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and
The
how do
sigh
you
from
feel
the
about
non-kinesthetic
that?
person.
um, and so I always want to honor everybody for their belief systems. And I believe that we all have our own journey and we all have our own, like, and so not everybody is here to believe what we believe or live their life the way we do.
No.
But I think our way is right.
And best, of course.
Um, but yeah, and so there isn't necessarily even the desire to do it different.
Mhm.
And so then you end up stuck in the feelings that don't feel good, but you don't even necessarily want to get out of them because there's this belief that it's good to stay in them. I don't
And
know.
you're justified in feeling them. I think a lot of it is
Yeah.
justified in feeling them.
Right. And I mean, I know you and I do things different. We do things the same and we do things different.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that there's a moment of that that's fine. Like when something happens, it's normal to like have a human moment of like not liking that or being upset or being hurt or like whatever it might be.
Right. It's
Um,
just a signal. That's all. It's a
that's right.
signal.
Yeah. And then because I want to be happy and at peace, I do my best as quickly as I can to figure out what of the tools and the different things that I know can I use to get myself back to the state that I really like to be in as often as I can. Um,
But I think what you're saying, what you just said though, is you look for the tools to help you actually really eliminate it, like really take care of what's causing that. What do I need to do so that I no longer have this in my life, or I no longer take this kind of action, or like it starts here and here, but there has to be action that's taken, whether it's what you say or what you do, but something has to be different after. It's just, it's an analysis.
Yeah, so that makes me, and I hope we're not going veering off of what you wanted to talk to, but that
I
reminds
don't,
me.
I had no really agenda other than I started it and that was it.
Okay, so that reminds me of like, so again, in this conversation on our walk yesterday, um, we were, having all of these conversations. This person was having a challenge, and and she said, I am good at, like, in whatever I asked. She's like, I'm good at, like, now, like, going with a girlfriend and sitting at the lake and like taking that time for me or whatever. And I asked, does that time, like, do you do that with the intention of coming back being a different version of yourself? Like, then being coming back, like, it's one thing to go and do the thing. So for you, I know, like, you almost always or very often go to clearing. I don't, that's not like my natural go-to thing. But even if I go for a walk or I do a meditation, I'm doing it with the intention that I come back feeling different, therefore I can show up different. Like if I'm stressed or I respond in a way I don't like or I'm whatever, I might go for a walk as the thing to do, but I'm doing it very purposefully
Mhm.
to shift how I'm feeling so that I can come back as me, come back as like kind and loving me.
Mhm.
And so I think having the intention, whether it's clearing the negative emotion, whether it's doing a meditation, whether it's going for a walk, whether like whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever tool you're going to use, you have to have the intention to have it shift the outcome.
Exactly. And not just temporarily. I want to do what it takes to not have that response again. Like, what is it inside of me that's
Yeah, so
causing?
you go deeper than me. So every time I'm like misbehave, I don't necessarily go that deep in the work that I do on myself.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
think it's deep. See, that's the thing. To me, it's
well,
just
okay.
like,
So I just don't implement the same tools. Like I guess.
and maybe
Yeah.
I don't do the same things all the time, but I still do it with the intention of it not being just this momentary thing of
Okay,
it.
so if Uber annoys you,
Yeah,
you respond in a way that you don't love,
yeah.
which maybe never happens.
I've been really good lately, like really good.
Um, do you do something to make it that next time you don't respond that way?
I think it's really challenging. That question is challenging because I would kind of have to know what the situation was.
Okay, so I'll use driving. Let's use driving or cooking because those are two things. But I actually
Cooking
am.
came to mind. See, they're really not important. See,
They're
they're
not.
momentary things, so they're
No.
no big deal.
Okay,
Like
good. So then
seriously.
that's what I actually really wanted to ask. Like, so like when Uva drives and tailgates somebody and slams on its brakes and you get upset, do you actually do a clearing to make it that next
Oh
time he does
God,
that you don't?
no. It's
Okay,
like
that's
I don't remember the like 5 minutes later,
okay.
I'm looking
Good.
at the trees
That
or something.
yeah, okay, good. Like so I just was
So those
actually
aren't
really
things
curious.
to clear. Those are not
Okay,
big
thank you.
deals. Those are just
Okay,
life
so those are the kinds of
responses.
things I'm thinking. If I'm in, if Jason does something, let's say, or something happens with one of the girls, not, I can't think of even specifics, but like not big deals, like where
No.
it's just like I'm annoyed or something, then
Yeah.
I go for a walk and I come back. I don't go and
Perfect.
clear so that I don't get annoyed the next time. Okay, good.
No.
That's what I
No,
wanted.
no, no. I'm talking only things that are, I'm going
Yeah,
to say
big.
big and
Yeah,
that really, and again, are not healthy for our body. Like I
yeah,
was just reading something again about, you know, psychoneuroimmunology, the body-mind connection and just, you know, remembering it's like it's about me. It's quite selfish
yeah,
wanting to be a nice person,
yeah.
you
Because it
know.
feels good.
Well,
It's a
and I
nicer
know that
environment.
for my body,
Yeah, yeah.
it's,
That's what I
I
mean. It's
mean,
a nicer, inner environment.
scientifically,
Yeah.
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 Scientifically it proves it. And so every one of us could have something happen to us, well, I'll say to us, by another person,
Hmm.
being spoken to unkindly or rudely or any number of things. And so we can either hold on to those things or we can let them go. Like, is there anything within me that needs healing around that? Or, it's not that it's okay for people to be rude and unkind and any of those things, but then I have a choice. I don't have to defend myself. So I think that's another big word that people feel justified and they need to defend themselves and defend their position, and they're justified in behaving that way and saying what they say. And that may all be true. And for them, obviously, it is because that's what they're saying. But is it worth it?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Did you really impact the situation in a positive way? By doing that? Did you enrich the relationship? Did you feel better inside? Or, like all those words of retaliation and, I have to defend myself and it's not right for people to talk to me that way and all of those things. Well, then, if it can't be changed, then don't be around them.
Hmm.
You don't have to be mad at them. You don't have to say nasty things about them. You don't have to do anything negative. You
Hmm.
can just choose. Is this good for my well-being? If it's good for my well-being, then it's going to be worth it for me to figure out what the heck can I do? I can't change the other person, but maybe I can communicate in a different way, right? I mean, there's lots of ways we can do it if it's worth it in a healthy way.
Or I want to say, so a situation is coming to mind for me where I have like a business challenge.
Hmm.
So I don't even know that I've spoken to you about this. I don't know. Anyways, I can't and won't go into the
Yeah,
details of
yeah,
it. Um, we can offline.
yes.
But
I think I might know anyways,
okay.
maybe.
Um, And so I don't have the choice at this particular moment in time to like bow out of the
Right.
situation, right? I have a responsibility to my partners, to, I have a responsibility that I
Yes.
have to keep at this, even though if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. And I even have like little visions of being a not shiny Melanie,
Yeah.
because it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I think I could have some clearing around how frustrating it is for me.
Yeah.
Because so sometimes you can choose to not be in that situation or not, but there are times, especially in business,
Yeah.
where when you have partnerships, when you have, responsibilities, if I were to bow out, I would not be fulfilling my responsibility to other partners. So I don't
Right.
really necessarily care about the partner who's being the challenge. I mean, I don't mean that I don't care, but like I could choose to walk away from that. But I can't choose it in integrity to just walk away from the situation because I have other partners who are impacted. And
But that goes back to you. That goes back to who you are at the core, right? It's your identity, it's your purpose, it's all those higher level things that allow you to behave in the way that you believe is the right way for everyone involved.
mhm,
It's all at a higher level.
yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is.
And so then where I could do the clearing is when the outside Melanie does all of the right things, but the inside Melanie is a little bit like
Yeah.
because it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But I
Yeah.
am right.
Of course. Well, of course.
But I get it. I mean, that's the perfect example. I could give you all the reasons why I'm right to be frustrated, and you would probably agree with me. Everybody in the world would probably agree with me. But at the end of the day, that feeling inside of me isn't a healthy one. It doesn't allow me, with as much ease to show up as the person I want to show up as. I have to
Right.
really like get back to, being a businesswoman and being all of those things before I send something, like
Yes. But I
so yeah,
think that's right. I think that's the way we should be.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if we take on the responsibility of being a business person and having relationships and being a leader,
Yeah.
well then if we choose to be a leader, well then how are we going to behave as
That's right.
that leader?
Yeah.
That's our choice,
Yeah.
right?
100%. Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go.
So how do we wrap this conversation in
Big,
into
huge.
little, I think at the end of the day, whether it's, the person that I was walking with, whether it's my business situation, whether it's the client that you had, that you worked with, it's the same thing, which is at the end of the day, the only thing that we can control and what we're responsible for is ourselves, is our response, is how we feel, is our own happiness, like all of that stuff that's up to us. And if we want to feel good, or, for lack of a better, um, then it's only up to us. So I do want to revisit what you said, what you started with, because I veered us off in a different direction, but I do want to come back to when somebody feels like they need to heal the relationship with the other person, and you're saying that really isn't it. All healing happens within. Now there's Ho'oponopono, which can change the energetic connection between two people, which is about the other person and self,
Cutting the
right?
ties, yeah.
But when you're talking about like healing our emotional responses, then can you just say a little bit about what originally you had this thought? Like, it's not about healing the relationship, you heal yourself, and then the relationship automatically,
Changes.
yeah.
It changes. And in some instances, you might decide you don't want the relationship anymore. But even with that, it doesn't have to be done in an angry, nasty way. You can step away, from a relationship, recognizing that we're just different people. I appreciate that that person has had a different life than me. They have different filters than me. They see the world in a different way. They believe, certain things are okay to do and not okay to do. Like they have their own set of rules within themselves.
So it's like honoring them for that. And
Yes. And then deciding what do I need to do.
yeah,
Honoring them doesn't mean I have to stay in their presence. If they are somebody who really isn't kind,
yeah,
because words matter. Think of Emoto,
yeah, yeah,
and the crystals, the of water. It's like really words matter.
yeah.
So if I don't want to be feeling like that, and if I know what that words really matter, well, then I have a choice. Do I want to heal that within myself so I don't feel that way, so that whatever my triggers are gone? Or do I need to remove myself? But either way, it's not about pushback. It's not about defense. It's not about,
Screw
justifying.
you, I'm out.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's not about any of those things.
And maybe the person doesn't even need to know which it is. You do the healing and then it becomes
Yes,
clear, right?
exactly.
And
Exactly.
and because really, if you love the person and you want to have them in your life, then you heal whatever you need to heal so that you have that person in your life, but what they do and say doesn't impact you in that way.
No, because you've changed how you interpret
What
what
they
is
say.
happening
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's magic. I mean, so we do that healing and then we either are able to be in the environment and be okay, or we're able to make the decision to not be in that environment and we're okay. But either
Exactly.
way, it's aligned and we're at peace inside because of the work we've done.
Absolutely. Yes. Very well said.
Boom. Okay, well, I think that just about sums it up.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good, honey.
Okay, thank you for that. That was really nice.
Good. Thank you.
See you next time. Well,
Yep.
I'll see you before that, but see you next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.